Hello, hello there. How you doing? I'm super glad to have you, Lucas Adverse, on the podcast.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad to be here as well. Thank you for the invitation. I'm excited to see what's coming.
Yeah, a lot of fun. First, tell me, who is Lucas Adverse? Who are you?
I am just a juggler who started juggling around 10 years ago, and I, what I try to do is make videos so that people would be more interested in juggling. I try to reach people. It's just that, I mean, before I started juggling and all of that, I never really had a passion in life. I thought I was never gonna be good at anything, right? And then one day I saw a video of, it was the Japanese jugglers in Osaka or something like that, and I just fell in love with it. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, right? So, what if I could start? What if I could try that? And then I picked up some balls and learn to juggle by myself on the internet. And now that's kind of my mission. I want to reach those people who don't have a hobby in life, and maybe they don't know they could enjoy juggling, and then maybe they could magically discover, yo, like this is my thing, right? And
Yeah.
I usually just try to show how healthy juggling and how good juggling can be to your life. That was a little bit long,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, I know I started the same way. Like, I didn't have, like, any good sport. Like, I remember I played football, soccer, however you want to call it. I tried playing that for, like, 2 years, but I was really not good with my feet and stuff. But I remember one thing that I love doing, like, tricks. So there was the thing, like, uh, a trick called around the world where you just like kick the ball, then you go around the ball with your foot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always like prefer doing this type of freestyle and this type of funny trick, that like one time trick. Yeah, and kendama.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wish I could have one of those. Yeah.
We have around the world here. It's a big cup, small cup, base cup, and spike. That's
Oh,
around
so
the
there's a
world.
kendama around the world as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, same with basketball. Then I stopped playing soccer because I was like really not good at it. Like I never like got a clean around the world at all. So I just got like hella discouraged. So then I picked up a basketball because I noticed I was like way better in my hands. And I tried the classic like rolling on my finger and this type of stuff. I started doing my first like behind the back like back crosses. The first one ball back crosses I did was like with basketball,
Mm-hmm.
but still I was not like the best at it. And then randomly during lockdown, I discovered juggling. I saw a video on the internet, then I went to see what was more than like what we know, because a lot of people just know that people can juggle three balls, but they don't know like any box patterns or any body
Mm-hmm.
throws. So that really like opened me up. I went on YouTube and searched for juggling, and then I saw like all the tutorials and stuff. And then I got like massively inspired because like all the tricks I was trying when I was younger, like this is like the most concrete form of doing tricks literally with my hands, juggling. So then I
Mm-hmm.
literally got addicted to it, and then like I was just learning tricks after tricks after tricks
Yes.
because it was like instant, instant rewarding. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so
Oh yeah.
could you tell us how you discovered juggling? You said from some videos, but how was like starting juggling from like three ball cascade to whatever crazy stuff you're doing now? Like, what's the in between?
So I picked up some juggling balls at like a magic store, and then I looked. I mean, I knew how to juggle from when I was 12 because I had a cousin that taught me how to juggle three balls, but I never really did anything with it. Right? I just learned to do it, and then I never juggled until I was 18. And then when I was 18, I found a video of Japanese jugglers doing all their crazy the Japanese style, right? Temotoke. And when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my god! I mean, I can do three balls. What if I could learn something like that, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So then I started looking up tutorials and stuff like that. And the problem with juggling is that when you go to like the advanced level, there's not really tutorials for that. So usually it's just about watching like videos of your favorite jugglers until
Mm-hmm.
you soak that in, and that was it for me. It was just I mean, I started with tutorials, but then obviously I went to juggling meetings, right? And that's how I started learning like more tricks and stuff with people. Wherever I would go, I would try to find a juggling meeting, and then I would combine that with juggling tutorials, and then that's how I kind of developed my own style. And it was my style is very Japanese because my favorite jugglers they're mostly Japanese, so that's why I got into that Japanese style, right? Because I was always copying Japanese people in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. So that's so interesting. Like most of the nowadays jugglers, they like search up juggling, then you see like 5 balls, then like okay, what if I try like 4 balls, and do like all the classic tricks people get to learn, like
Hmm.
the most popular side swap or even tricks like Mills Mess and stuff. But the fact that you were inspired by Japanese style at first, like it's such a different level. I think that's just mind blowing. Like, how is learning that? Do you remember like one of your first tricks, like Japanese influence trick that you learned?
Probably all the like inverted box type of stuff or any fast type of tricks. So for me, I just really have. I mean, in the past years, I realized that I definitely have this thing called the addictive personality. So I get really into stuff. I mean, I probably have some sort of ADHD as well, and so then I get really into something, and when I like something, I get really into it. So, for example, it started with music, and then I got really into drumming, and then I did drumming like obsessively for 2 years, and then it was juggling, and then I got into juggling balls only, and then it was clubs, and then I got into juggling clubs only for like 2 3 years, and I just forgot about balls for years. Now it's kendama for me. So now I've been doing kendama for like 4 years, and I've been doing like not that much juggling, mostly kendama, because usually I like to find one thing and I focus on it, and I get really into that thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now for me it's crypto trading as well. I'm doing a lot of crypto trading. I'm really enjoying that. So what I'm trying to say is that for those who don't know what an addictive personality is, that's what it is. It's very easy for you to get really into something, you know. So then what I do is I usually go hopping from different hobbies to other hobbies, doing like different things in life, and yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I like to do.
I really I really see myself in that because I the amount of time I spent into learning Timoto, like I was literally like skipping numbers. Like I did 5 and I was like, okay, I'm done with numbers
Mm-hmm.
yet. And then I learned like all the hand bounce and inverted box Timoto stuff. Then I got like so into it because it was like so addictive. Like I was just doing this every single day. Then at some point I was like, okay, there's like the gap between what I can do next and Timoto is like so high that maybe I should start like working on something else. So I picked up like clubs and trying numbers like 6 and 7 like that unlocked after I tried doing Timoto. Looking back, I know I was not at my at my like peak Timoto level, but at that time like I was doing like high low hand bounce and I thought like that was the hardest trick I could have done in the year, right? So, but
High
then
low
I
hand bounce.
yes
Yeah,
yeah
what is that even?
let's try.
Is hand bounce? But are you mean you exchange the ball once before you do the next hand bounce?
Yes. So see
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
the classic hand bounce is like this. The high low
Yeah.
hand bounce is like swapping underneath
Oh, I
like
see.
this.
I see.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So
Damn,
when I
that's clean as fuck. Can I swear in this?
yeah yeah or
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah, that was clean as hell.
yeah yeah. So
Your hand bounce is pretty clean. I never got a clean hand bounce just because I guess I didn't put the time into it.
and there's a lot of different Japanese style juggling as well. Like hand bounce is not like the only Timoto thing out there. There's so much stuff. That's what I like with Timoto is like it's sort of categorized like sort of like narrow into a style, but when you actually discover how like broad it can be, like it was a lot of fun because you
Mm-hmm.
can learn a lot of like underarm Timoto stuff. Like there's a lot of box pattern that you can like switch underarm. It's literally like some body throw motion, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Timoto is not like just a small circle of tricks, right? So then I got like that's okay.
I mean,
That
Tomoto is anything around your hand, right? But it's
yeah,
fast or around your
yeah. That's
hand.
the word's definition is literally by the hands. So I think a lot of things can go in that. So yeah, that
Honestly, I don't like that definition so much. I think around is a better word because by I don't think by really explains, but the word is supposed to be like around the hand. Does it? Does by give that sense?
uh, yeah, I think around it makes a lot of more sense because a lot of things, a lot of tricks in general are by the hands. But yeah, I think it's more around the hands because you really like do a lot of stuff really like into like one crush patterns. Like hand bounce is just like the
Mm-hmm.
really crush patterns where your hands like all there, and inverted box is like so
Mm-hmm.
isolated. So yeah, I think around their hands make more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a word. So I speak Japanese, right? That's one of those things that I really got into, and I was studying Japanese like 4 hours a day for years. And then, as I said, it's one of those things that I really got into. And so there's a word, like the way that I learned that word is that it's actually a word they use in real life. So they have a word, for example, ashimoto and temoto. Ashimoto is the same but feet. So ashi is feet, and ashimoto means around your feet. So let's say, for example, do you know when you're going up the escalator and then there's the part that looks dangerous, and kids
Mhm.
are always like, "Oh my god."
Mhm.
So that part they usually write, "Watch, watch out, ashimoto." So watch out
Oh yeah.
around your feet. So that's the same thing about hands. Like make sure you don't have anything around your hands. So that's how they use the word, and that's probably why they use it in Japanese, which I think it's a pretty cool definition because if you look at temoto, it's always like I think the point of Temoto is that you don't change your plane so much.
Mhm.
You don't go that way. You don't do a pirouette. You don't do body throws that much. It's more around. It's always like around here, right?
Yeah,
Around your
right.
hands.
I mean, sometimes like body throw can be subjective. Like let's say you do like let's say box, but you swap the 2x like under your arm. I think that's like a sort of body throw, not like the craziest contortion you could do, but yeah, I think it's a body throw. But there's some exceptions, just small exceptions. Do you consider hand bounce as a body throw? Because it's different than like doing on your palm, doing hand bounce like this.
No, no. I don't even consider. I don't think cross arm, in my opinion, is not a body throw. To me, body throw means anything that goes behind, anything that goes look behind, under, armpit. That is my view of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean everyone have their definition, right? Some people can
Yeah,
consider, yeah,
yeah. To me, it's about the body. Here,
yeah,
you're not really
around
like
your body,
going.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
if
but
you
that's
consider
my
your
opinion,
arm
right?
an extension, yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to some extent you could. I think there's some Timoto tricks which you can include like actual body throw into. I think that's
Yeah,
a
so Temoto is it's all you do around your hands. So if you're doing a fast trick like but it's still like around your hands, if you're just doing here once and going Temoto, I think as long as you're going around your hands it's Temoto.
mhm,
What would not be Temoto is if you're
a
doing
neck
like
cascade, like something
every
like that.
yeah, if you're doing a body throw every single toss or every other toss, then I think it's not Temoto. But if you're doing the style which is fast around your hands, and then you do one body throw here, I don't think it disqualifies. I think it's pretty chill.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so uh, there's a lot of iconic videos on YouTube, like juggling at Japanese conventions, and you made some of those. So can you tell us how was the trip to Japan? How was the discovery of the Japanese culture, especially in juggling? How did that affect
Oh,
your
it was
style and
amazing.
stuff?
Yeah, so I went to Japan to take a intensive Japanese course. So I was at the school studying like 5 hours a day type of thing, and then I met all my Japanese idols, and it was amazing, yeah, because the thing about Japan is that you're never really gonna understand Japan or experience Japan unless you speak Japanese or you have a translator. So going there just by yourself, not having a translator, is something like it's really hard for you to really understand what's happening. You're kind of like that dude who never gets what's happening, and I find it harder to like experience Japan that way. So I had the luck of being able to study Japanese and actually talk to Japanese people, and then they took me to Japanese places, introduced me to Japanese people. So it was amazing. I really loved it, and they showed me that there's like even types of juggling in Japan. There's like the Osaka type. I mean, I forgot the word. There's Kansai. I forget what's the other one. It's like really basic Japanese, but there's like two areas in Japan. There's Kansai, which is like Osaka and other cities, and then there's the other part. And there's like apparently juggling is a little bit different on these two parts, so that's interesting.
Hmm. So
And they said that my style is a little bit more like Osaka style. That's what they said for me, which is interesting to hear because I had no idea, but I guess I copied. in the beginnings, I was copying. I mean, my biggest inspirations from Japan are Kota and I mean, there's two Kotas, right? But it's Kota Hayashi, so it's Hirota, and Ryohei Kimura, which is Junior. So these two guys, I mean, Junior, he's very like he's from Osaka, and his style is very Osaka-like. So I think that's probably why Japanese people say my style is also Osaka-like.
Because you got inspired from him.
Yeah, all the sunny side up type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. I remember like once I saw your clip of four ball sunny side up. I was like mind blown. I just learned a sunny side up. Then someone like sent me a video of you doing four ball sunny side up, and that literally like mind blown me. Like
It's a hard trick. Damn, I don't think I can do it anymore. I mean, I could, but I would have to practice a bunch. It's such a hard trick. Damn.
the timing is like ridiculously hard. Like it's a gnarly timing. Like you gotta just do a super quick swap because then next one is like coming down already.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, right now we're filming the September 1st, and last week was the weekly Timoto, and there was variations of your four ball sunny side swap. You even reposted it in your story. I saw that,
Mm-hmm.
and the trick was doing like three up and then just one like almost dotting the ball. Like you let go and then there's like a rotation on top, so then you slam it. Yeah, that trick. I get to learn that trick, but
Yeah.
right after that, like when I stopped recording the weekly Timoto shot, I tried right after the actual like four ball sunny side up, and it's actually like way harder than like a slammed one with dots for some reason. Like even if like the vanilla four ball sunny side up, yeah, I mean that's just crazy. Do you remember at what
That was
time?
Mike Moore. Mike Moore, right?
Yeah, yes, the weekly Timoto, yeah, and by Dan Barron and Mike Moore. Cool stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, Mike Moore is crazy. Proud Canadian fellow.
yeah. So, yeah, true. You're from Canada as well, right?
Yeah, originally Brazil, but I've been in Canada for a long ass time, so I
Yes.
guess Brazil and Canada.
Yeah. Here I'm in Canada as well. I think I'm really proud of
Where
being
exactly?
Quebec, the capital of Quebec.
Mm. So you're French Canadian?
Yes. That's why
I
my
see.
English lacks a little bit. My bad, guys.
Mm.
So I'm.
I didn't know. I didn't notice at all.
Oh, that's kind. So yeah, I. It's really cool to be like. I don't see a lot of Timoto jugglers in Canada, so I think it's like a really small community. Like I'm gonna do a random guess, but I'm say there's like less than 10 people up here in Canada doing Timoto. Like I never saw like someone do even like high low box, like something pretty common. Like I don't think there's that type of juggling in Canada here.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean the Japanese culture like really got everywhere because right now there's European juggler doing Timoto stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see Harvard H. doing the the inverted sprung cascade, but you did like fountain, so it's like five ball because there's like the four ball fountain going on with the
Mm-hmm.
inverted swaps. So I think the European bring their touch into Timoto as well. I think that's cool,
Oh yeah.
and I think you helped a lot in that to publicize like the Japanese side of juggling. I think you're partly the reason
Thank you.
while Japanese juggling is known everywhere.
Thank you, buddy.
Do you remember what happened from the time that you said you have an addictive personality? You said that you like got super into balls, then super into clubs, and ran out to kendama. Could you tell
Mm-hmm.
us like what made you transition? Do you remember if you had like super massive inspiration that made you switch, or were you like just tired of juggling like the same ball tricks every day? Like what happened for the transitioning?
Yeah, for clubs it was Jorge Vilches, juggler from Mexico. He's from a group called Conejo Lunar, and he's like reference in clubs in Mexico. And I was really good friends with him because I'm a representative of the IJA, right? And he's also part of the IJA team, the International Jugglers Association. So I met him doing. IJ stuff, volunteer work, and then we became really good friends. And he inspired me to get into clubs because when I do ball juggling, it's either temoto or body stuff, right? So I'm really into body and exploring the body in different ways. So his club juggling is all about traps and body tricks, body rolls, contact, or whatever people like to call it. So he got me into that stuff, and he became kind of like my sensei. So when I went to Mexico and I lived there for about a year, and that was during like my second or third year of juggling. So when I went to Mexico, I got like a lot of tips from him, and that got me into clubs.
Yeah, because I think when people think of Lucas Adverse, they could think of really three different three different style, three different type of tricks. Like there's some people who could see like the Temoto and body throw. Like I remember like all the videos I saw from you doing like the crazy penguin catches under the leg, then like under the armpit, like all at once. And I was like, how is that even possible? Like, how can you reach that and that and that like as a penguin? Also,
Thank you, thank you.
then like browsing through videos, and I just see like the crazy body rolls with with clubs. I was like, what what is this man bad at? Like,
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. I'm bad at numbers. So that's what I don't do.
have you? How's your numbers? How? What did you
I just like
experimented?
basic, just like five.
Have you tried 6 and 7?
I don't even. I don't know. I haven't really tried that much. Not enough to. I just never liked numbers enough for me to learn six,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think I've ever tried seven. I've just flashed it once or twice and never really practiced
Right.
anything above five. Even five, I only learned how to do the cascade and shower, and that's about it.
That's so interesting. I think that's really cool. Like you're literally one of the best in the body section, and you just learn like the 5 ball cascade. I mean, personally, I think you're one of the best. Like, if someone is asking me name like your top 5 like body throws and you know body experimenting juggler, you literally be in there. Cause like okay,
Appreciate it.
as
Appreciate
a
it.
non-club juggler, when I see your insane traps and rolls at the same time and stuff, like cause you have a lot of videos where you just like create a bunch of sequences with traps and different body throws. It's always like super original. As a non-club juggler, I'm just watching this and it's like alien stuff for me. Like I remember, I tried to do just a normal like neck roll with clubs, and I couldn't even do one. Like I was inspired by your stuff. I was like, yeah, and like my clubs just look at me back and they're like, don't even try it. Then I actually tried it, and it's like 10 times harder than you can imagine. Like when you see body rolls juggler, you see, oh yeah, okay, just throw, then the club's gonna do its thing, then it's gonna come back in your hand. In reality, not. Like I think there's literally like 60 or 70% of the work that's actually done with like just your body. Let's say you do it around the neck. Let's say you have like the bulb here, and then you bring it there, and then it
Hmm.
comes back here. Like
Yeah,
I think
Halo.
yes, I think this is like less than 20% just the throw, right? It's all like the body and how you move it around. Cause
Hmm.
yeah, I think that's the sixth sense I haven't developed yet, like how to move my body with a club.
Yeah, club contact is pretty hard. I appreciate the words. I think anyone in Chile or Japan can massacre me, but I appreciate the words. It's just that I just do what I like to do and what's easy for me, and then whatever is hard for me, I just kind of ignore. So I don't have a lot of discipline when it comes to juggling. I do it just for fun. And then when I find something fun that works, then I work on it. But my biggest like obstacle in juggling is definitely finding a trick that I want to work on and working on it and like doing the trick honestly. Like I have so many tricks that I wanted to do and I write them down and I never do them just because I have more ideas than I actually practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I lacks a little bit of discipline, but I'm always trying different shit.
Do you have okay? There's a thing that is sort of insecurity I have is like because right now I'm like really focusing on doing like Tomoto stuff that never have been done before, or like variations that are unique and stuff. And like sometimes I just want to post like an easy trick or just an artsy trick with Timoto. Like it's not the hardest stuff ever, but it's just like cool visually and stuff. Like that's why
Mm-hmm.
I love the type of tricks that Andrew Olson does. Like it's so,
Yeah.
it seems like it's so artsy and so like accessible at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like so original and so accessible at the same time. So I would like to do more of that, but I feel like I always got like that one part of me that just want me to post the hardest stuff so people wouldn't be like, you know what I mean? If I gotta be like always at 100% of myself. Like if I don't do like the hardest trick I could, I feel like I'm not providing
Mm-hmm.
enough online. I don't know.
Yeah, it's better not to have pressure and just do what you like to do.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like on the internet. Honestly, it's like you gotta decide. You either like work really hard to put something out every day, or you just like let yourself go and do the tricks you want. Sometimes it's a hard question, right?
Mhm.
Especially like depending on how many people you got following and stuff.
Mhm.
Like sometimes if you have a lot of followers and then you just start to post anything, then you just go downhill, right?
Yeah.
So there could be like a lot of pressure, but for most jugglers, I think yeah, it's really hard to say. I have that thing myself. Like I do so many tricks and I just don't like I don't know half or more than half, and then I just get to pick the ones that I like. But yeah, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I just think we gotta relax and do maybe like the stuff that we don't think is the best. We can put it on our stories and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
think the main thing is to always be pushing content, making new content for more people to get into our community. I think that's in my opinion, is my main what do I say motivation is just not only be able to like make videos for people to watch, but also not lose my practice, right?
Yeah.
Be able to like be practicing so I get to like develop myself and help others. That's usually what I try to do.
And a little bit different theme. You said with your addictive personality, you said like you love doing like really focused ball tricks, and then like you move on to clubs. I in the past I've talked with jugglers that said that they love like getting motivated by doing things they never tried before. And how do you stay motivated doing like, because if you're doing like balls and you're maybe like skipping the club phase of your juggling and you're not like trying to push things, even numbers, how do you like focus on doing like that one thing that you're addicted to and like still be motivated to push it further and further without losing
Yeah,
motivation?
for me, my problem is that I don't have the discipline, right? So my source of motivation is natural. When I do the trick, for example, I'm juggling balls. I don't have the motivation to practice six, seven balls. That's why I never did. But then when it comes to doing three ball tricks, fast three ball tricks, I didn't need the motivation. Why? Because when I'm doing that, I'm having fun. I'm like, oh my god, this is so fun. So it's a natural part of me that wants to go and do it. Why? Because I want to go and have fun. So it's like to me, I usually compare it to like playing Call of Duty or like watching a movie. It's something that you feel like you want to do and you do it because sadly that's my problem with discipline. Like I find it really hard to go and practice tricks that I don't like. So let's say when it comes to clubs, doing swing type of stuff, flowy type of stuff, or doing anything like numbers, like four or five. I mean, four clubs isn't numbers, but I don't even do four clubs, right? So usually the stuff that I don't like, I have a hard time working on it, and then the stuff that I like, I just do it for fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. And fun fact, I heard on a podcast lately that people like, there's a chemical release in your brain called dopamine, which is like rewarding. Like when your brain release that, it's because you did a cool thing. Let's say like doing your bed
Mm-hmm.
every morning gives you like a little shot of dopamine to like start your day good. Like that's a known thing. Then there's,
Mm-hmm.
I think we could also translate that with, wait, I gotta have my thoughts. Yeah, so with dopamine, there's like social medias are like controlled to make you like addict to it. Like let's say you go on Pinterest and then you see only image you like. There's like no doubt. Like there's you know what I mean? Like there's no need of motivation to open your Pinterest,
Mm-hmm.
because always like image that you're gonna love and that you appreciate and stuff. So there's gonna be like zero motivation to click on there, because you know it's gonna require zero discipline, because you know it's like instant rewarding. And that's why they
Mm-hmm.
program to have like one image out of, I don't know, image out of 50 that's gonna be like good to you. That's why they keep you addicted, and so then you have to make like effort to search for a reward, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the thing with juggling. Yeah, like sometimes you just try. Let's say one day you want to practice your inverted box, and you do like terrible. Like you cannot even run 10 rounds, and you're like, okay, that's terrible. Like I used to do 30 plus and blah blah blah. I think that's the thing with juggling. Like if you're always good, how what's the motivation, like, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
just always the as good, like what's the point? Do you even see improvement, or it's just you just continue and just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's no like reward. Like if you don't put effort into your juggling, there's not like no reward.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what I like about kendama, the dopamine thing. I don't get it that much with these days with juggling because a trick is a continuous thing. For you to do a trick, you have to do rounds after rounds after rounds, and sometimes it's like I mean, a lot of the tricks that I want to do that I write down and I never do. I can only do maybe one round and that's it, and it's really hard for you to do more than one round, and it's got to be a continuous thing. But with kendama, it's not a continuous thing. You do the trick, and when you get the spike, you feel like a
right,
wave of
it's almost
adrenaline. You
like
know, if
it's
you
almost like a trick shot you try for 1,000 times. You just like you do your your crazy spins and all, like that satisfying moment where it just clips in there. That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
your
That's
huge
why
dopamine.
these days I get a lot more pleasure playing kendama than juggling, and obviously that's why I've been doing more kendama than juggling in the past years, just because I get more pleasure from it. Because every time I play kendama, I get certain tricks, and I feel like yeah, like I'm leveling up. I'm adding something to myself, right? But then when I try clubs, I don't know. I have so many new contact rolls that I just can't do, and I kind of feel like shit, because I just can't do them, and I'm like, I don't get that shock of dopamine because
Hmm.
I feel like I gotta practice a lot more to do the trick. But with kendama, I mean, I find kendama harder in general, but when you get it, you feel like a lot more satisfied, you know, because kendama involves a lot more repetition, and I find it easier to do repetition in kendama because in juggling it's that thing that I said, it's very abstract and you don't know when the trick is it starts, you don't know when the trick is over, but kendama is very definite. It's very like you know what you're doing, here you did it and boom, that's it. So that's why these days I get more pleasure from it, also because obviously it's like a newer thing for me that I'm discovering.
So then you got like super addicted to this type of progressing. Like it's not abstract. It's not like un, you know, what do you call it? Like unachievable. Like when you see like, let's say you're doing 3 ball back crosses, then you're like, okay, maybe I'm gonna put that into like a super hard trick. Then you're gonna expand it like to
Mm-hmm.
the hardest trick you can. Like kendama is just like that one singular trick. Like you're not comparing yourself to what you could have done with this same thing, right?
Yeah, I just feel like when you end the trick, you get a better sense of accomplishment with kendama. That's how I feel like.
Yeah, right. So I think that's why I prefer Timoto right now, because Timoto is like you land it or you don't land it, right? Because if you're doing like numbers, let's say
Mm-hmm.
you want to do 7 for like the longest time you can. If you're doing like a longer of 7, you're like, oh, and like I said, there's a lot of there's a lot of time where you just miss. Like every juggler had like their bad days. You know, you just start, you cannot even qualify 7 when you used to do like 50 catches every time. There's always those bad days.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with Timoto is like when I want to land like a super hard trick or a super odd trick, right? Because I love to try new tricks. Because right now I think that more than, okay, let's say I did like 10 catches of neck cascade, like even if it's like a personal like reward, I know there's a lot of people that have done it
That
before.
one.
This one, like this,
Oh,
a
oh
cascade,
yeah.
not the
Okay.
shower, right? So
Oh yeah, that's true.
yeah, let's say 10 catches of that. Like there's, I don't know, thousands of jugglers that have done this. So that's the thing with Tomoto. Like it's so narrow and there's like not like 3,000 people that tried this type of trick, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I think you have the amount of dopamine more because you're like the first one to ever do it. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. Like, I love bringing like, I don't know, an impossible vibe into Timoto because you see like three ball hand bounce and you're like, oh my god, what is this? Like, it's crazy. And then I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why not stepping up to four? Why not do four ball hand bounce? Because it's possible. It's in nature. Like, you can qualify it. Like, right now, I'm really looking forward to qualify the four ball hand bounce because there's like one on top, then three going on
Ooh.
under.
Damn,
So
that's crazy.
so
I don't
so
know. I don't know if I've seen that.
yeah,
Does
yeah,
anyone do it?
yeah. There's a video called uh Japanese Timoto jugglers or just Timoto jugglers. Let me found a video.
Mm,
At the end,
yeah.
there's a
How many catches does he or she do?
it's I
It's
don't know if it's
crazy.
gonna be good quality. It's Ruchan. Okay,
Root.
there. So
Damn. Yeah.
Ruchan did
As I
five
thought
rounds.
as I thought it's really hard to do like a lot of catches right there.
Yeah, it's just like you
You don't
said,
have
it's like
space. You have
it's
space.
like
Yeah.
kendama. It's like kendama. It's like literally like trick shot E, like similar to trick shot. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
tried 1,000 times until you like one one time you made like that extra throw that you qualify. It's just out of nowhere. Like you just landed it out of nowhere, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's similar things with like kendama and temoto. Do you see it?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Because let's say you're doing like seven ball for the most amount of time, you're let's say your personal record is like 100 catches. You're not gonna do 100 catches like every time,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you're progressing like forward, let's say that four ball hand bounce, like there's days where I cannot even like flash it, not even 3 rounds, because
Mm-hmm.
there's a thing with this type of trick, like it's easy to flash it, but then like adding throws, it's like a huge gap, like from the fourth throw,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's just considered really harder. So yeah, the th- the thing
Mm-hmm.
with numbers, I get like right now I'm practicing my seven, and one day I'll qualify my eight. Let's try. Like right now I'm practicing numbers, but seven like it doesn't bring me so much satisfaction. Like let's say I do a good run, it's not even like half of my record. Cause one day I just go nuts and I beat my record from like twice. I think
Mm-hmm.
so. Then let's say I do half my record, I'd be like so like yeah, I'm proud of myself like at the moment right now, but it's not like my best.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing with Tomoto is like it's so small of a circle of jugglers, and like there's so much stuff that haven't been discovered, especially with four balls. Like there's a classic trick called the cherry picker, the one with like you going like this,
Mm-hmm.
you're grabbing once at a time. Like right now, I'm working with the mic more. Like he challenged me to do the four ball version, and I and I had a pretty awkward
Yeah.
run of. I, I don't know if you can call it a qualify, but I have a pretty awkward run of
Yeah,
four
that's
ball
crazy.
cherry picker. Let's see if I can pull a video. So I
Can't
think
even think of how to do it.
yeah, I think that's the thing. Like it's so like no one have done it. Like you're the first one to discover, and like once it actually lands, like I think that dopamine that you could get with kendama is like similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that moment where the ball like drop in your hand and you actually did the first qualify of X trick in the world, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I think
Damn.
okay.
Oh dear.
Let's see. I'm gonna put it again because it was
Damn, that's crazy.
there. So yeah,
Damn. Yeah, that's
right now
insane,
it's
dude.
not perfectly clean. Like Mike Moore is challenging me to, cause the actual cherry picker, right? You like grab it the ball like right there when it's coming up, but the thing with the four ball version, like it's so fast that you almost grab it when it lands down. But the thing is, you should grab it
Mm-hmm.
instantly. Like it's boom, 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 boom. Like it shouldn't
Yeah.
go over your hand. So right now I'm really
And
working.
you do the Japanese version as well, right? You know,
Uh,
there's Japanese version of cherry picker and Western or regular version, right?
what's the regular version? Right now I just have the Japanese one in my head.
So
So let's see.
Japanese is the Temoto version, which means You know Murakami, right? The god.
Yes, yes, yes.
So he made the Japanese version, which
We're
means
talking about
you just do this.
this one, right?
Yeah, this should be the. Yeah, it's a little bit out of frame, but yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's the
let's see.
Japanese version.
Okay, let's see. This one, when you grab it on top.
Wait. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the Japanese version. Can you think what I mean when I say regular version?
I don't have the idea in mind.
So
Let's see.
regular version means that you give
Oh,
the
it's
ball
this
a little
one.
push up. So for you as
Yeah.
I can,
Yeah,
I can
I
do,
don't have. Yes. Let's see.
that's funny that you can only do the Japanese version because it's so much harder.
It's so much harder.
But I guess you get used to it, right? So you got to do that way. Wait a second. I don't think I ever worked really well on the Japanese version. I've always done just the this is the regular.
Oh, I
I don't know if
see.
you can see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wait.
Like you. Yeah, I do a little throw over. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I don't think I ever managed to do the Japanese one. Like I can try to guess. Oh my god, it's like honestly it feels like
And
twice the speed.
and yeah, like the way Murakami did it, like he did other patterns where it's like a cascade and cherry picker. He did the wait, how do you? Okay, is this one right?
Yeah,
This one is hella
that's a good one.
satisfying. This one is
Nice.
satisfying to hit.
Oh
So
yeah,
so yeah, I think. So what
so beautiful.
what I'm trying to prove right there is that like it's some things that like this concept of cherry picker, when you merge it into four balls, like it's so like not discovered yet that
Mm-hmm.
you get like the instant adrenaline and like the dopamine like hitting because you just hit it. It's like the first time people have done it. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, 4-2-3. Wait, that's a neck catch. Yeah, it's not even throw. Right.
Yeah.
You throw. Oh no, that's different,
Yeah, I like
right?
to call it neck catch. There's two neck catches.
Yeah, there's
There's
like
the
there
OG.
and there. Oh, there.
Yeah, this is the OG neck catch
On a
that
chair.
I don't like to do because I don't know, like the soccer trick, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the OGs will call that neck catch, but I definitely like to call this neck catch because these are neck throws, right?
Yeah.
So naturally these have to be neck catches as well. So that's what I like to call it. But it's definitely what do you call a heated argument there.
Yeah. Controversial body throws there.
Yeah, honestly, the reason why I don't see people talk about that is it's because the people who do this trick usually don't do this one.
Yeah, right.
Like if you think about the people that do this trick are the traditional guys who juggle 5-7 and then
Mhm.
they go like that back to 7. So
Right,
usually
yeah.
it's not the same people, you know. So it doesn't what do you call collide?
Yeah, it makes sense. So like those people are like, oh yeah, this is the only neck catch I could see. Like that's the only thing with the neck that they catch. Like it's this one, and then in body throw people do like this as a neck catch. And they're like, okay, since that's a neck throw, that should be a neck catch, right? And do you
Mhm.
consider doing this is technically a neck throw and
Oh
a
yeah,
neck catch?
of course.
That's a neck catch. Like when you do a neck cascade like this, one sided or both sides, it's technically neck catches as well like neck throws. So that's why it's a whole neck cascade. Like a cascade in general is thrown and caught, right? That's literally definition.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah,
both makes sense. Even
yeah.
though
That one is
correct,
one of those tricks. One of those tricks that really have no name, right? You just gotta explain.
yeah,
If you have your hand here, you just gotta explain. There's no
yeah.
way to just.
So yeah, if you say
That is one trick I don't do usually. I usually always have my hand coming out.
so if you say like a juggler, oh I gonna do neck cascade. Like which one are you talking about? This, right?
Oh
This one,
no, that's got. To me,
right?
to me this is neck cascade.
Oh wow. So there's three versions because I was thinking this one as well.
Uh,
But this one is this one is crazy.
Yeah, in my opinion, for you to call it a cascade, it has to be. I mean, for you to call it a cascade, in my opinion, this doesn't work. Why? Because this one is different from this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually, when you do like a cascade or a 3-3-3, every single thing is the same, right? Symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this would not be a cascade because this would be like the half version,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And then what was the other one?
The
Uh,
this one, or this one.
oh yeah, yeah. That one I don't call. That one I like to call it. I've always called it behind the neck.
True.
So that's
Yeah.
how I see the trick. When I see the trick, I always think of behind the neck. But obviously, those are just terms. There's no correct, right? It's just
Right.
whatever people use more.
I think there's a little bit of lack of official labeling. Like, there's not like
Yeah, I really wish. I really wish in juggling people would stick more to terms, more to like establishing terms,
right.
giving people credit, naming tricks. Because honestly, in kendama, it's so easy for me to literally say, "Can flip juggle late, can flip spike," and then everyone understands. Or I say
It's
like,
it's like it's like a skateboard as well. Like you say, oh, do a ollie, then an impossible flip, then a kick flip. Like they know which, like, what's the combo trick, right? So if you
yeah, when we play kendama, there's almost like a name for everything that we do, unless you're doing flow stuff. If you're doing stuff like that,
yeah.
I mean, let me give a better. If you do stuff like that, then there's no name, right? But almost every time that you place, yeah, every time you place something somewhere, there will be a name, which
I
is like
Oh,
most
that's
of the game,
something
right?
crazy. I saw kendama jugglers. Okay, imagine like this is the kendama. Like I have the three plates, and there's people who, wait, show me a kendama. There's people who do it like in middle, like there. Wait, can you show your kendama? Do it.
Here,
Um, no, when okay, let's say you put it down like this, and then there.
you mean
Yeah.
axe like this?
Yes. Yes. So this even have a name? Like it's crazy.
Yes, it's called axe. There's a axe and there's inward axe.
See that? Yeah, I think kendama is. Yeah, let's talk about kendama. I have no experience, and I think a lot of jugglers don't never experimented with kendama at all. So could you?
Yeah, it's very sad because if you look at kendama, it's a community made by other communities. So everyone that is in kendama is either like a BMXer or like a skateboarder or a snowboarder or a slackliner or a surfer. It always comes from like a different modality or a different type of set of skills, but almost never juggling. It's like really rare to find a person who started juggling and got into kendama. It's like
But
really
it
rare.
seems like so close. It's like fidgety with your hands, like yo-yo and kendama should
Yeah,
be like almost. Yeah, and there's some people
that's why.
even like. Okay, I think the circus theme. You know, there's people doing spinning plates. I
Hmm.
think I think the thing with circus theme, like there's people mixing juggling with circus spinning plates. So I saw people doing a side swap with like the sticks and the spinning plates. I think that's the
Hmm.
thing people should start doing with yo-yo and a lot of different props, even kendama. I saw jugglers do with like without string kendama, right? So they're just like
Hmm.
freestyle. They do it like this, and they hold like the kendama stick, and they still. This week I saw a post on my on my feed that do like did a cascade with like the plates there. So he placed the ball, then he used it as his hands, right? So then like he did a
Hmm.
three up, then he threw a stick as well. So then he did like a five cascade with only kendamas and like unattached balls. So I think
Damn.
that even with Amron Roosevelt right now,
Crazy.
have you seen the cup thing he's doing right now? It's crazy. Like he bring
Yeah.
a wine glass or something like that.
Hmm.
I think there's so much stuff to get discovered with different props, like even yo-yoing and
Yeah.
kendama and juggling. I think it's like so like similar in some way that they could
Hmm.
like all mix it together. It would make like a perfect mix, right?
Yeah, that's why it's a shame. It's a shame that there's not more jugglers playing kendama because juggling. I think juggling is the closest thing in the world to kendama because kendama is literally juggling. Almost everything they do is juggling. But in the same time, they have more people that are from skateboarding and music than like juggling, you know. So it's a shame, but I can honestly kind of guess why, because most jugglers when I show kendama, they feel like it's like a silly, simple thing, and they feel like, I mean, usually they just say, "Oh, it's not my thing." I mean, it's cool and all, but I wouldn't see myself getting into it, right? And that's literally what I thought the first time I saw kendama. Literally what I thought. I thought it was like a simple thing, and I could never see myself getting into it. But kendama is a lot more than just the game, you know. Kendama is really something like, honestly, it was life changing for me, to the point where I feel like playing kendama 90% of the time as opposed to juggling now. Why? Because it's not about the game, it's about the community, the
Mm-hmm.
culture, the lifestyle. Like kendama is such a beautiful thing, dude. Kendama is about like humbleness, is about like getting better, motivating others, even beginners. It's the only sport where you see pro players applauding to beginners. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you go to the Facebook kendama group, and then you see pro players commenting like fire emoji. That was great in the videos of beginners. Like when do you see Wes Peden commenting, "Yo, that's a sick trick" to like a beginner juggler? You don't see the type of stuff, right? But
Right.
kendama is so wholesome. It's all about like motivating the person to be better and showing people that, yeah, it's about like having a good time, you know. That's why I like kendama so much. It's not just about the tricks, it's about the community. For me, it's about being able to go and see so many friends and do things together and meet like really valuable people and hang out, you know.
Yeah, but juggling is still like pretty community wise, like maybe not as like narrow with the kendama, because kendama is like almost like one family who just supports each other and stuff. Because I follow
Mm-hmm.
kendama stuff on Instagram and I see a bunch of things. Because I'm not. I love like seeing kendama. It's like there's so much stuff happening, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
it gives me like the same type of entertainment as trick shots. I don't know if you can call it trick
Yeah,
shots when you land a kendama trick, but the thing with
you should get
juggling,
into it, buddy.
yeah, that could be fun. Fun fact: there's a kendama at my school. Okay, sort of kendama. It's like a stick with like a
Mm-hmm.
ball with. There's not like the two plates
Yeah,
though. So it's just a stick with like the one ball.
the doggy.
Oh,
Yeah, it's called Bilbo K.
yeah,
Look at
Bilbo
that.
K, right.
It's fierce. Oh my god.
So then at my school, I tried kendama stuff. Like I spinned it
Mm-hmm.
and then I like catch it by the ball, then catch it by the handle, then like landed it. So yeah, that was
Mm-hmm.
fun. Like maybe I should try picking up kendama. But yeah,
Yeah, you're probably playing with the Bilbo K, because kendama is inspired on a French thing called Bilbo K, and then there's many versions of kendama in the world, but kendama is the only one that created like a culture in the whole thing.
hmm but yeah, I think juggling's not that bad with like community, cause like,
Mm-hmm.
I can literally like this podcast is like the the number one like consequence of that community. Like I'm literally like no one juggling. Like I got like zero following, but so like one
Mm-hmm.
community that I can invite like my idols like Matan, like literally everyone on this podcast. I love you all, like everyone who participated in there. I love you all, like so like y'all, every single y'all. Wow, that doesn't work. Every single person of y'all inspired my juggling and stuff. So yeah, yeah, what I was saying, yeah. So you
Beautiful
can,
words.
yeah, you beautiful words. So yeah, you can with juggling it's not that bad. Like let's say you cannot, let's say you're a soccer player, you'd be like so few chance that you can like invite Cristiano Ronaldo on a podcast, right? I think juggling
Mm-hmm.
is narrow enough, not as narrow as kendama though, but I think juggling is narrow enough that this type of stuff could happen, like having content with your
Mm-hmm.
idols and stuff. So yeah, maybe you won't see like the Anthony Gatto commenting like someone who flashed five, but it's still pretty, pretty like a pretty tight community with juggling.
Mm-hmm.
I never got like so deep into the kendama community, but I'm sure it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, juggling community is great. The only thing about the juggling community is the separation. There's so much
Mm.
separation that in my opinion, if the juggling community were more like together, like kendama, we would be going like really far. But
Mhm.
in juggling, I mean, not to criticize, but it's very normal the separation between like club jugglers, even ball jugglers, like numbers. people practice with numbers people, and then you see temoto usually practice with temoto, and then there's like flow where people even like have this whole flow and juggling separation, you know. And so I kind of wish that everyone considered ourselves all together as one thing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so that the type of
Yeah.
prop that you have, the type of trick that you have doesn't like affect, because sometimes you just want to like meet people with other skills, right? But yeah, I love the juggling community. Being able to like talk to anyone like that is really awesome. Anytime you have like a niche like that, people get together more often, right? Like you see a juggler on the streets, and it's like, oh, you juggle, then you're like automatically buddies with the person, you know.
Yeah, I
It's like
think
similar with kendama. You
even
meet
if
someone
someone
that doesn't.
even if someone is
Mm-hmm.
shy, even if a juggler is shy, if they see someone doing like five ball, they're still gonna go see them because you see so few jugglers in your day to day life that you have to like make friends with
Mm-hmm.
that juggler. Like, yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's like one example. Like you probably wouldn't see a collab with like people who do contact juggling with like one ball around the arm and stuff like on the head, like next to like Delaney Bailey's doing like overhead with seven rings. Even it's the
Mm-hmm.
same. It's the same hobby. It's the same. It's considered as juggling both. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think they're put in really different categories.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I love people who like mix stuff. Like people do Timoto and then they add like literally how do you call it? Is it clay motion juggling? The one where you just like do this type of
Yeah,
stuff. This
the very easy
right?
one. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this. So I think this community is merging a lot more into Timoto. Like as you saw
Mm-hmm.
the weekly Timoto from
I
Mike
mean,
Moore, like it's not
uh-huh.
rare. It's not rare that you see people doing clay motion juggling
Yeah,
like this.
just to be more a little bit, just to be a little bit more exact, the stuff that you're doing is more like K twist. That
Yes.
stuff is K twist. Clay motion is usually like it's about like letting go
Mhm.
everything, and like it's almost like Legos but
Yeah.
with balls. I feel like the K twist stuff is more Temoto and less clay motion. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's some community merging together that makes a lot of sense. Like, uh, yeah, I think there's different part of Timoto. Like even Timoto, there's people who just do like box stuff and people doing hand bounce and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of crazy things like this. How do you even call it? Do it the K twist. I'm searching for a word right now that I don't have. It's all those crazy swappy K twist and like it's almost like clay juggling because it's like stop
I
and
mean,
go like this and like
mm-hmm.
this it's stopping right. So if I do this, it's not like
Yeah.
oof, I hit the mic there. It's like not continuous. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
choosing it to make continuous. Like I could stop there and then right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I think Temoto is a lot about making shapes. So you have three balls like that, and you go like this, and you're making like shapes like that. But K twist is about fast. It's about literally Temoto, right? K twist is like my dog is. I'm going like that. She's like. "Arr." So yeah, that's the way I see it. That Temoto is very focused. K twist is focused on doing it fast. If you do K twist and it's not fast, you know that it kind of misses the point, right? Don't you
mm-hmm.
think? Of K twist, like every time you see someone learning K twist, you can see they're not quite there. You can see like, oh, okay, it's got to be fast. It's like sunny side up.
Right, yeah.
If you do a sunny side up that is not small and fast, it doesn't quite work. You know, the point of it is being like tight. So that's why I consider it more
Yeah,
Temoto.
the number one example of Timoto being shapes is literally like stuff like inlines. It's literally a line. This right, not
Yeah,
like people
that's
learn
beautiful, buddy.
people learning inline. They're like, oh yeah, it's not quite there. Literally like the K twist. It's like as long as it's not a line and like not flowy, it's not like this trick, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think Timoto people are like super perfectionists into like shapes and visual
Yeah.
aspects. So yeah, it's been a great time talking to you. What could we hear from you in the future? What's coming in the future with you?
I have a. It's a little bit of a secret, but I don't care about saying it. I have a
All right.
Kendama sponsorship announcement that I'm working on. So I'll be. I don't know when that's coming out, but I'm gonna be sponsored by some brand, and then I'm gonna have this. I'm making an announcement video so that they can announce me. And I'll be trying to post more. I took like a little IG break. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
post on Instagram for like about a year that I wasn't really posting. So now I'm back at IG. So I'll be trying to post like, I don't know, once, twice a week type of thing. And that's about it. I still haven't made any like YouTube videos like I used to do in a
Mm-hmm.
long time, and I'm thinking about them. It's just that right now I'm trying to get away from tricks and more into production
Mm-hmm.
because I realized that people don't want to see people juggle. Like what I I mean that's hard to like put into words, but the example that I give is, let's say you're scrolling on the internet and you see a video of someone dancing ballet. What's the chance of you insta scroll it? I think it's pretty high for a lot of people. Juggling is the same way. Let's say you're a guy who doesn't care about juggling, you've never seen any type of juggling in your life, and then you see a video of like this kid juggling balls. I think there's a very high chance that they don't even care, right? They just scroll. But then you see a video where the guy's talking to the camera and he's proposing something like an idea, and then you listen, and then you see something cool happen, like he's juggling like, I don't know, a different type of object or doing tricks with something else, or doing something more, I don't know, thinking about the production, the angle, the editing. I think that could bring more people into our community, like if you
Mm-hmm.
look at kendama edits, they're so well made in a way that puts you like, it brings your focus in the video, right? So that's what I'm trying to do with juggling a little bit now, is focusing more on the production part and trying to make something that people, that not only jugglers want to watch, but something that everyone wants to watch, because that way I think we could maybe try to make juggling become a thing one day. That would be like a dream, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah, that's why the number one like juggling acts and all the videos on YouTube, like the most viewed ones are like the really well made. Like okay, there's videos like West Beaton's videos and like O by Ofex Near, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are like perfect examples of like crazy editing that could get like non-jugglers like crazy like addicted visually to it. Is like, oh my god, there's so much edits,
Mm-hmm.
so fast things going on, like, and jugglers can like jugglers could, okay, let's say you do like a super cool edit of someone doing Mills Miss. Like non-jugglers
Mm-hmm.
would be like, oh my god, this is like the best thing I ever saw. Like depends on the edit, but like let's say you do a, like, let's say you just fix your camera there, you do a 9 ball run, like say you qualify 9 ball, people are just gonna be, okay, he did 9 balls, right? But if you saw like the crazy good edit of someone doing 3 ball Mills Miss, that's how you like attract
Mm-hmm.
non-jugglers.
Exactly.
So yeah, I get it. Like I want to make production value more into my future videos, because right now I'm just like focusing on uh ins- like
Mm-hmm.
right now I'm really like in the Timoto development side of the tricks I'm doing. Like right now I step out of like the classical tricks I learned, like the hand bounce and the inverted box. You don't see me do a lot of those nowadays. Only in the Timoto weekly Timoto things, because some
Mm-hmm.
people do a inverted box variation, so I go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
learn them or perform them. But yeah, I'd love to make like a super cool like Timoto juggling video, like literally as good production value as like the big ones out there. I think there's not a
Like
lot.
Ethan Brain, that guy, you made video with
Dude,
him.
that dude, I'm a
So
huge
that's
fan of
what I,
him.
dude. I literally want to be that guy. Like I that's what I want to do, and I'm still like very like beginner video editor type of thing. I really
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to do stuff like him, something that someone looks and they're like, "Oh wow, juggling is actually cool. Like look at that." You know what
Like
I mean?
Ethan found a way to make juggling hype. Like people see that and they like woo, woo. They're like getting literally hyped.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the same way that jugglers get hyped, like seeing Delaney Bailey's doing like rakes up overheads, but like that's the same hype people get from non-juggling, right? When they see Ethan doing
Mm-hmm.
like on crazy, on crazy rap songs, they he do like crazy edits. It's like super, it's like super fast and super like captive. You're like way more into the videos than like someone fixing his cameras.
Hell
So
yeah.
so yeah, Ethan, you my boy. I've been talking to him kind of a lot. We did a a collab, whatever. My accent is lacking right now. Uh, we did a collab like Halloween. It made 0 views, but I was so happy to see like what we could make together. That was like my first. production value video, right?
The one you sent me?
Um, what did I send you? I don't remember.
Send me a collab with Ethan Brain.
I did.
It's Brain, right? Ethan Brain or
Yes.
Brian?
Ethan Brain.
I thought it was Brian for so long.
Yeah, but Brain, it's probably his actual last name, but Brain adds so much to the character. It's like Ethan Brain, like Brain and crazy edits and like yeah, your dog is getting nuts, right? Yeah, I think it's time to
Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy.
it's time to he's telling us to end this, right? So yeah,
Yeah, she gets upset a little bit sometimes.
could you point down? I put your handle there, Instagram handle. Could you point down with your camera? There. More on your right. Yeah, this side. Down on this side.
So
Down.
so down like that.
Yeah, right. So go follow Lucas on Instagram at Lucas Adverse. A lot of
Thank
cool
you.
cool stuff. Like, and I'm so happy to see you back on Instagram. Like I think
Thank
it's
you.
a lot of content that you cannot like really put on YouTube, but Instagram like have the best format for that. Like just a singular trick instead of doing like a 10 minutes video. You do a singular trick, and then you see like what you're working on. He's doing a lot of kendama as well. I'm getting really like captivated by that as well.
I'm gonna get you into kendama, buddy. I'm gonna get you in
Yeah,
there.
buy me a
I have a
kendama
mission.
maybe.
I have a mission of getting jugglers into kendama and getting kendama players into juggling. I have that little mission. I'm always trying my best, you know.
Yeah, buy me a kendama. I'm gonna try whatever trick you want me to do. No,
For sure.
yeah,
I'll send you one, buddy.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that was a
As
lot
long
of
as you
fun.
promise you're gonna practice. It's not decoration.
Yeah, I promise.
It's not a
That thing.
decorative piece.
I practice a lot with the bilboquet at my school. I got
Nice.
bored and I literally trained like flips and like actual like grabbing by the ball and then throwing it again. And,
Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
pretty fun.
All right. So this has been a long episode, but that's fine. It was really entertaining. I hope y'all liked it. I had a lot of fun. So yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day. Have fun juggling, and see you in the next one. See ya.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Cheers.